Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Aubrey, and in this video I am going to be talking about the astrological breakdown that we have coming at us for this month of June, how it's playing out, the major aspects and transits that we have coming, my sort of assessment of the overview in terms of how this energy might be playing out and affecting us, and I'm also going to give you guys some of the dates that I'm looking at in terms of when some of these more significant energetic activations are happening. And so without further ado, let's sort of get into this. I will tell you guys, I'm not going to get into like super vast amounts of detail in terms of the specifics of the aspects themselves, like on the day by day, because you know that we do that on this channel anyways. And I'm going to be talking about all of these aspects that are playing out in much greater detail on my daily videos. So you'll want to tune in for those, especially on days that you think might be important to you. But in this video, I am going to be giving like a general summary of sort of what I feel like is going to be playing out over the course of this cycle and the themes that are likely to be presenting themselves. Now, first of all, just sort of right off the bat, I feel like this month of June is going to be bringing up themes surrounding desiring freedom, choices, options, and the ability to start over and go in a new direction in one way or another. Energy is likely to be urging us to make some major karmic choices that will change the course of our future actually and impact our lives likely for many years to come. And we may really be reassessing what we've built and laying new foundations based on a new perception of ourselves and what we value and what we desire for our lives going forward. There's also issues woven into this. I'll tell you guys, there is a lot of black moon energy that we are dealing with all month long. And I feel like on one level, this could actually be giving a rise in prominence to like exposing actually like the darker sides of the feminine energy and the impact that that distorted feminine energy has actually been having under the surface of things on like the essential well-being of the collective. And I also, with that black moon in effect all month long as well, and playing pretty much a very significant role in what's playing out energetically. We could be really struggling with like some fears, worries, insecurities, doubts this cycle, especially surrounding like the prospect of potentially starting over. On one hand, we have this desire, this cycle to really go in a new direction and embrace our authenticity and embody our personal truth and really start something new and independent for ourselves. But on the flip side of that, this may also be triggering some real fears regarding this process of starting over or any type of perceived lack of foundation or lack of support or lack of security that we might be experiencing. And ultimately, though, I feel like the lesson that this cycle is trying to teach us is to help us gain an ability to really emotionally mature in one way or another and begin to nurture ourselves and support ourselves internally more and not be so dependent on the emotional validation and the emotional support from others. Not to say that it's something that we should just like disregard, it's obviously a very important part of human connection and human relation. But I feel like this cycle is teaching us to be less codependent on others to meet our emotional needs. And it really wants to teach us to be able to regulate our own emotions and to support ourselves and to fill our own cup when we need to do so that we can be liberated to express and embody this new direction and this authentic truth that we are also trying to pursue at this point in time without having to be in fear of the potential of not being able to fulfill it as a result of an emotional lack and an inability to sort of fill that void. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's sort of the lesson and the trajectory that we are going on throughout the course of this month and what is generally might be coming up for us in terms of the way we're feeling and the way that we are encountering experiences, choices, options, and decisions, very important ones, could also be significant this cycle as things are unfolding. So number one, as I said, this is a very black moon oriented cycle, you guys. We are beginning this month with June 1st, we have the moon in Cancer coming into an exact conjunction with the black moon also in the sign of Cancer right now. And the moon will be in the sign of Cancer, activating the black moon for the first 3 days of June, starting, our first day in the exact conjunction, like I said. So we are opening in black moon energy, moon conjuncting the black moon. And then you guys, June 30th, the last day of this month, what do we have going on? The sun is going to be in a conjunction, in an exact conjunction actually, to the black moon. And our new moon in Cancer this cycle, you guys, is also going to be in a 1 degree orb off conjunction to the black moon. So we are starting this cycle in black moon energy. This is not a cycle. Sorry, I keep calling it a cycle. It's just a month. We are starting this month in black moon energy. We are ending this month in very strong black moon energy. And the new moon cycle that is happening this month, that is going to be carrying us, throughout the time until we get to the new moon in Leo, is also in a conjunction to the black moon. So very strong black moon energy, very strong black moon and Cancer vibes. And I will talk much more about this on the specific days, when these things are happening. But generally, black moon and Cancer energy brings up these fears of abandonment, essentially, based on abandoning ourselves or abandoning others as a result of feeling like we can't care for ourselves or nurture ourselves properly, or we can't care for or nurture others properly, and the fear of rejection and that type of thing. And it really places a big emphasis on our ability to also receive care and love and nurturing and support from others. These themes of care, love, nurturing, and support up against insecurity, lack of support, lack of care, a lack of perceived ability to do that for ourselves, and therefore projecting, and it can create a lot of neediness and entitlement, as well as we expect others to take care of those things for us. If we're experiencing that lack internally, it can also bring up fears of failure and a lack of ability to really come into our own and make something of ourselves in the world. It can make us very dependent as well. And that's why I'm talking about these themes of dependency and codependency really maybe gaining some type of forefront this cycle, and also the toxic feminine energy, generally distorted divine feminine energy, and the role that has played in, some of the more negative facets of the development of society and culture really at this point in time as well, with this black moon energy being so prominent this cycle, and maybe gaining an awareness of that where maybe we had overlooked it, or it had been more under the surface of things before. So black moon energy, you guys, to start this cycle, to start this month, not this cycle, to start this month. And then, we move on to June 3rd, right? Black moon is leaving the sign of Cancer, but we have Mercury going direct. Mercury, hallelujah, yay, Mercury's going direct. Things should start to clear up a little bit. Things should start to move forward a little bit now. Things should start making a little bit more sense. However, this is a bit of a challenging Mercury direct, especially considering we are in a Gemini cycle right now that is ruled by the planet Mercury. Normally, Mercury stationing direct in a Gemini cycle, things would really start to take off, and things would really start speeding up, moving forward, and coming together. But because of Mercury's specific placement right now, he is in almost an exact square to Saturn in Aquarius. And you know what? Saturn in Aquarius is actually going to be stationing retrograde the very next day. Yes, we have Mercury stationing to go direct on June 3rd in a square to Saturn. And then on June 4th, we have Saturn stationing to go retrograde. So they're doing this little cute trade situation in terms of their retrograde direct statuses while being in a square together. Now, Saturn and square to Mercury, I've been talking about this quite a bit in my other videos. This has a tendency of limiting conversation, limiting information, holding things back, slowing things down. Saturn is the lord of time, and Mercury rules speed and forward movement. And when you put these two together in the square aspect that builds tension and brings conflict and frustration, this is definitely limiting forward progress, limiting our ability to express ourselves freely in one way or another at this point in time. This can really be sort of clamping down on forward movement and growth. And this can also bring up actually some increased nervous tension or anxiety, or just feelings of unease, and also pessimism and depression as well. It can create sort of a very narrow-minded mental view of things to the more pessimistic side, because Saturn again restricts things and limits limits things, and also rules duty and responsibility and obligation, and sort of can like take the fun out of the room and stuff like that. And so when we have these two planets rule over Gemini cycle as well, yes, stationing direct, things should start moving forward. But with Saturn stationing retrograde the very next day and then being in the square aspect, this is definitely still likely to be restricting, limiting, holding things back, and sort of the mood is generally likely not to be like too optimistic and upbeat. But again, this aspect is one of the main things that is helping us or pushing us to make these major karmic choices right now. Saturn is the lord of karma. Saturn retrograde is when like our stuff catches up to us. It's like we reap the rewards for the hard work that we've been putting in, or time sort of catches up to us and we have to face sort of like the consequences of our actions or behaviors, or how we've handled our lessons in the past, so to say. This is a very karmic period of time, 4.5 month period of time when Saturn is retrograde. Saturn's going to be retrograde until like the end of October in the square to Mercury. And so this is Mercury rules choices and decisions, and Saturn is seriousness and like important stuff, like long-term, long-lasting stuff. Like these are some major karmic decisions that could be some very difficult choices that we are having to make over this period of time as well. And I feel like also that's sort of why Mercury is not just like flying forward in Mercury direct fashion like, you know, would normally be happening if this Saturn energy wasn't there. It's because we really need to like be patient and really look at the details and be very focused and like really be sure about the way that we are reframing things and thinking about things in our mind right now, because these choices and these decisions that we are making in this period of time are going to carry us like a very far path into the future. They are like laying the framework and the foundation for on which we will build. You know, first there was the word Mercury, like on which we will build everything going forward at this period of time where we are in such a place of like dynamic change and really recreating ourselves. Like we need to be taking it seriously. And I feel like that's what this aspect is presenting. And that is likely to be sort of a feature of this entire month as well. And also really gaining like a more mature and controlled viewpoint, and like trying to gain some greater control over our thought processes as well, coming through with the energy that we have lining up. In terms of that, this cycle, also we have Venus making some very important aspects this cycle. Venus is going to be conjuncting both Uranus and the North Node in the sign of Taurus, and she's also going to be moving into the sign of Gemini. This is likely to be bringing some major financial and relationship changes, shocks, surprises, realignments, awakenings, upheavals, things just happening out of the blue. Not necessarily for the bad, but like to realign things and to put them back into the proper order. This is Uranus, the great rectifier, the great awakener, the great liberator, and also the North Node, which is the destiny point, which is like the hand of God, like putting something a certain way, which is like destiny unfolding, like fated occurrences in regards to relationships and perhaps like business opportunities as well, or financial opportunities, business partnerships, the things that we're working on right now, the creative projects that we are pursuing are likely to just experience some type of shift or realignment that is very actually destined and fated. And it might not be the most comfortable thing, but in the long run, it will be one of the silver lining occurrences, blessings in disguise coming in the realms of love and money this month that are really putting things on the proper path, and also opening us up to aligning with our desire to have some different options or some different choices. Again, Venus also moving into the sign of Gemini. When we have Venus in Gemini, we are desiring more options, more decisions, more alternatives, and the freedom to sort of move back and forth between them. So whatever fated disruptions or changes, connections, realignments, and relationships and money are coming in this cycle, there's also likely to be an aspect of it that is somehow opening things up or liberating us along these same lines and these same realms to have the freedom to make or to have more of an abundance of choices that we can choose from in our decision-making process, to open up some alternatives for us, to show us the different variations in one way or another. So find that to be interesting as well. Now, another aspect of what we have unfolding and going on this cycle, we are also going to be having a pretty powerful, you guys, full moon in Sagittarius. And this has a lot of Aries flavor as well, because even though we're talking about the sun in Gemini and the moon in Sagittarius, right now, Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, is in the sign of Aries, and Mars is there as well. And Mars rules the sign of Aries. So this is a very, very fiery full moon in Sagittarius that we have going on. And this is likely to be bringing a very passionate drive to embody and pursue our personal truth, to heal ourselves, or expansive expressions of this Mars energy. It could be bringing expansive expressions of like passion and courage and motivation and willpower and assertiveness and independence to really embody our truth and stand up for ourselves and head off in this new direction. Or it could be bringing some really expansive feelings and expressions of like hurt or wounding or anger or aggression, or just any of these more Mars-oriented type of passionate expressions of emotion, because we're talking about a full moon in Sagittarius going on as well. But we are very much likely, with the full moon in Sag that's playing out this cycle, going to be expressing our truth, which again plays into this overall situation that we have going on all month long, this desiring of freedom and the choices and the options and the ability to start over and go in this new direction. However, you know, this is also this karmic reckoning, and these choices and decisions that we're making are very important. And we really want to be practicing this more thought control, like self-control, with the square that we have to start off the month, and Mercury and Saturn. And we really don't want to let ourselves get super carried away in some over-the-top, like passionate expressions or expressions of anger or rage or even depression and stuff like that too, with this Sag moon in the sign of Aries, or with Jupiter ruling Sagittarius in the sign of Aries, and this Mars energy. And also for that full moon, we also have Mars in a conjunction to Chiron, an exact conjunction to Chiron. So this moon could definitely be triggering our wounds as well in some type of a way, or also triggering our desire to have the freedom to heal. That's sort of like the two octaves. Like, we're likely with this full moon this cycle, you know, halfway through the month, to be feeling either very like wanting to break ourselves free from situations that are preventing us from healing in alignment with our authentic truth, or really projecting an internalized sense of like anger and rage onto others as a result of some like uncontrollable and overblown emotions that are being triggered from some unresolved or unhealed wounds. So those things are likely to be playing out for us as well. And then the last sort of thing that we have going on, playing out, that I want to talk about is the new moon that we have coming up at the end of the month, actually. And this is our other like hardcore, heavy hitting black moon energy that we have coming into play to close out the month. So this black moon energy, we are going to be having our new moon in Cancer in a 1 degree off orb conjunction, like only 1 degree away from the black moon in Cancer. And it's also going to be in a square to Jupiter. So this black moon, this cycle, this new moon cycle, is really likely to be like expanding our perception of our own like toxic traits, honestly, like in one way or another. And specifically in regards to how we are caring for ourselves and others, and how we are projecting any sense of lack of care that we feel internally onto ourselves or others. And as a result of that, I feel like, again, like this is definitely, I mean, it's Jupiter too. This is expanding this energy. This is like, and it's this square. It's really like putting us in situations that make this like very, very apparent to us in one way or another, either in ourselves or in situations that we are seeing and experiencing in the world. And, you know, as a result of that, we're sort of becoming hyper aware of our own emotional wounding and struggling with this expanded sense of like fear and worry and doubt about our ability, like I said, to care for or support ourselves or others, and also in terms of being cared for and supported by ourselves and others. And, you know, I feel like this is happening to sort of give us a collective understanding of the negative implications that that has on the ability for growth to happen organically around us. Like, we're in this period of time right now where we are really like going through a rebirth process and trying to grow into this new version of ourselves. And I feel like this black moon energy is going to be showing us where this negative, distorted feminine energy that we may hold within us. I mean, it's regardless of gender, we all have feminine and masculine energy. And I feel like this specific period of time is about pointing out to us how distorted feminine energy stifles growth, how a lack of ability to give or receive unconditional love and nurturing and care stifles the ability for things to grow properly and in alignment with their true authentic potential. And again, we are in a period of time where we are simultaneously being asked to make these choices and decisions about the trajectory of our future, essentially based on Jupiter and Mars in the sign of Aries. This desire for freedom to really embody and personify our personal authentic truth that we are coming to right now, and to be able to go on this new journey, go on this new voyage, set out on this new adventure to like conquer our reality according to our own authentic truth. But this cycle, I feel like, is going to be bringing up the ways in which our own emotional imbalances or toxic relationships to our own emotions are, can play a role in sabotaging that process, and can also play a role in sabotaging the process of others, in our environment going along that path. So I feel like, for whatever reason, like in this cycle at this period of time, we may be likely to gain a greater awareness of these darker sides of the feminine energy and just how they operate and where they've been operating and the impact that they've been having, so that this ultimately can be purged and transmuted and cleared. Like, that is what I feel like is ultimately coming from this. Like, we are gaining this awareness very strongly so in this black moon energy all cycle long, but it's for the purpose ultimately of transmuting it and releasing it and liberating ourselves from it, essentially, so that that aspect of our own emotional nature cannot hold us back in going on this journey and pursuing this forward progress and this growth at this point in time that we are striving for so much, but has been so limited. And also with Saturn retrograde and the square to Mercury as well, it all sort of is like playing together for me. But that's really sort of how I'm seeing it. Also, this could definitely be bringing up like mother wounds and issues with the mother, or issues in regards to our own parenting and, just our relationship generally to how we are giving and receiving love, affection, support, care, security, nurturing, all of that type of stuff. So that's really what I have to say, you guys, in terms of how I'm seeing this energy play out for over the course of this June month that we have coming before us. Now, let's talk about the specific days that this energy might be highlighted. Like I said, on June 3rd, we have Mercury stationing direct. On June 4th, we have Saturn stationing retrograde. On June 11th, you guys, this is a really big day, June 11th, we have Uranus and Venus coming into exact conjunction. And the moon is also going to be in Scorpio and in opposition on June 11th, and Mercury will be trine Pluto. So we could be really finding out some really crazy stuff that's been going on behind the scenes, or like behind our back, in terms of love and money relationships that really like shocks us in some type of a big way. But there could definitely be some type of love and money, strange business, bizarre stuff, or like upsets happening on June 11th. June 13th, we have Mercury re-entering the sign of Gemini. The moon is going to be in Sagittarius as well. This is the day that we are preparing for our full moon. And this is likely to be sort of like a big information day. Energy is likely to be quite high today. Things are likely to be pretty busy. And on the 13th, there could be some big like messages or information. We could be learning something like pretty significant happening on the 13th of June. On the 14th, we have this powerful full moon going on in the sign of Sagittarius that could be bringing up a lot of these just like overblown emotions about stuff, either in terms of standing in our personal truth or expressing Some feelings in regards to ways that we've been hurt in one type of a way or another. On June 16th, we have Venus coming into the conjunction with the North Node. The Sun is also going to be in a square exact to both Neptune and a trine to Saturn on the 16th. So this is another very interesting day that could have some really just like out of the ordinary or like interesting divine alignments that are playing out. Some fated occurrences could be going on again in the realms of relationships and money. There could be some divine alignments in terms of personal connections coming in on June 16th, or like financial opportunities and stuff like that as well on the 16th of June. On June 21st, we have the Sun entering the sign of Cancer. Mars will also be conjunct the Eris point, and Venus will be trine Pluto on June 21st. So this is another pretty significant day. June 23rd, we have Venus entering the sign of Gemini. June 28th, we have this new moon in a conjunction to the black moon and also a square to Jupiter. This is another really big day. And on June 30th, the Sun will come into exact conjunction with the black moon, and Mars will also be in square to Pluto, and the moon will have a T-square with the moon, Pluto, and Mars, while the Sun is conjunct the black moon. This is some very intense and heavy stuff to close out this month. So there it is, you guys. That's what I have to say about the energy that we have playing out for this month. June, starting off in black moon energy, ending up in black moon energy, powerful full moon in Sag, intense, super intense new moon in Cancer, Venus moving to Gemini, Mercury going direct, Saturn stationing retrograde, and Venus hitting Uranus and the North Node. Some really divine realignments and awakenings about things about to be going on in the month of June as well. So that's what I have to say, you guys, in terms of the energy that we have coming at us for the month of June and how things are likely to be playing out. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys did like this video, let me know, and I will do another one like this when we get into the month of July. But anyways, wishing you guys a very beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I was able to provide something for you that can help you navigate throughout the course of this month. If you did like this video, you guys, please give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested. Leave me comments, you guys. I absolutely love your comments. I love your feedback. I love hearing what you have to say. Thank you guys so much for being here, each and every one of you. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social media stuff. Those are in my description box below. And I would say, normally I would say, come back with me tomorrow, you guys, because we're going to have some more energy to talk about, but I'm actually not going to be making a video tomorrow. I'm taking a personal day. I've got some things going on that I'm gonna go do, and I will be back for the weekend report, energy for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday coming up June 3rd. Mercury going direct, Saturn about to be going retrograde. And remember, I will tell you guys, we are in some heavy black moon energy right now. So any of these fears, worries, insecurities, doubts that are surfacing in regards to these themes of support, nurturing, care, all of that is really just trying to expose to us our own like wounding in these areas so that we can gain an awareness and really start to heal and clear and integrate these issues and really liberate ourselves from them so that they are not hindering our growth moving forward. So love you guys so much. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.